So we're here with Jake Dahlberg of the UIC Flames, recently drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals, as you can see by the headwear there. Before we get to the future, I want to go back to the past a little bit. After beginning your career, on the West Coast, growing up in Washington, playing out in Oregon, what drew you eventually to come to UIC?
Coach Mack reached out, and he actually flew out to the West Coast and saw me work out there. So we had a meeting following that workout, and we talked a little bit about Chicago, and he said he'd love to get me on a visit out here. So I flew out, and the guys treated me great. Checked out the campus, everything. They were doing construction on Curtis Granderson at the time. So I had an idea of what was to come, and I was excited about that. And when I came here, they still had the wood floor up in the gym, but they told me their plans for the construction in there with the turf. So just knowing that I was going to have the facilities to train, to beat the weather, I was going to be able to stay up with everything. And then just being in the heart of Chicago, I fell in love with the city right away. It was beautiful, and that's something different than where I'm from, and it's something I really enjoyed. And also being seen by professional scouts, that aspect, we're right here, and they're out at practice every day, that kind of thing. And so I knew I wasn't losing anything when I left the West Coast, because that was my dream, obviously. And so it all just tied together and made the decision really easy for me.
So you had a really strong first season when you came here, winning the Horizon League Pitcher of the Year award in 2015, and then 2016, I think by your own admission, probably wasn't up to the level where you'd like it to be, but you bounced back and had a really great year in 2017, winning the Pitcher of the Year award once again. What kind of changed or what clicked for you to be able to finish as strongly as you did here at UIC?
I had to go through some adversity there, and kind of had to gut check it, see where I was at mentally, physically, emotionally. Me and Coach D had multiple talks, and before the season started, he told me, no matter what happens, just have fun with it. Don't think about the draft. Don't think about, personal outcomes, anything. Just play the game, have fun, and enjoy your last year here. And so I kind of took that whole year that way, one day at a time, and mentally I bought in completely to everything. Obviously, I used last year as some motivation. Didn't want it to happen again. So it was a big time mental change for me, and I had the most fun I've had since I've been here, every single day.
Talking about the most fun that you've had, maybe looking back on your 3 years here at UIC, what are one or two of your favorite memories from being part of the program?
Well, I think definitely winning the league championship my first year, 2015, getting a dog pile. I'm always going to remember that moment. And we didn't make it to the tournament that year. This year, we dogpiled again, and that one was even sweeter because it was to go to the tournament, and I'm never going to forget that for the rest of my life. I remember diving in there, and Cody Bohannik's on his back, stuck under a bunch of people, and I'm looking around, and I just see his face staring at me, and I just reached out, and we were like screaming together. It was such a cool moment. I'm never going to forget that.
You were a pretty prominent figure on a pitching staff that was not only one of the best in the country, but one of the best that UIC's ever seen here this season. What does it mean to you to go out with that type of legacy?
Again, that's getting back to personal things, but I'm blessed to be a part of that. The whole entire pitching staff bought in from the beginning of the year, and we left something behind. We left the program better than what it was when we got here, and some of those guys are going to be returning to carry that on. I'm just happy that I was a part of that. I'm happy that I had the success I did, but it's more important that I was able to leave something behind, and I'm grateful for that.
You talk about leaving something behind. What's one piece of advice you would leave for the guys that are still in this clubhouse, and maybe the guys that are not here yet but will be coming in years to come?
Right. I'll just say don't take things for granted. You're going to have to work hard. That's a big thing for us. You're going to be challenged every single day, and there's days where you're going to be questioning what you're doing, why you're doing it, but that's what you got to learn to enjoy. And if you can do that, every day is fun. Every day is, you look forward to working out. So I just say, come ready to compete, come ready to work hard, and we take it one day at a time, and always keep the bigger picture in mind in the back of your head, know what you're working for. And if you put one piece together after another, it's going to give you the best chance to get to that big goal of yours.
Now, you talked about coming to UIC and being at such an advantage with a lot of scouts coming around and the great facilities and things of that nature. When did it kind of set in as a true reality for you that, professional baseball was something that you could in fact accomplish?
Well, it's been a dream. I was thinking about that the other day. I think 6th grade is when I realized, okay, maybe one day this could actually happen. This is what I want to happen. My first year here, after the year I had, I was like, okay, I think I'm in a pretty good position right now. And then I took a step backwards. But then this year, started getting some letters from people early in the fall, and I was like, okay, got a chance here. And I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself to have a good year. But it wasn't until a couple days before the draft that I knew, okay, this is going to happen. And day one, obviously, I knew it wasn't going to happen day one. Day two, there was a chance. I talked to a few guys that day, and they said possibly. And so once that happened, I was like, okay, day 3 for sure. And I sat around and waited, and I got my call, and I was ecstatic.
So that's what I was going to ask you next. Was kind of what was this week like? Were you monitoring every pick, or did you kind of know starting around day 3 that it was something that might happen for you?
I didn't watch day 1 at all. I watched day 2 just because I wanted to hear names. I wanted to see if I knew anybody, that kind of thing. And I thought there was a chance that it could happen for me. So yeah, I was paying attention, sitting by my phone. I was just in my apartment the whole time, watching it on my phone, nothing crazy. Once it didn't happen that day, I was like, okay, tomorrow's a new day. I woke up that day excited. And it wasn't probably until about the 18th round that I finally got a message saying, hey, you're in the mix, get ready. And 21st came up, and there it went. But yeah, I was paying attention. I was excited for it. I didn't want to get overexcited because I didn't know when I was going to go, but I was unbelievable.
And so now that, a couple days ago you were drafted, I'm sure you've had a few conversations with folks in the Cardinal organization. What have they told you about kind of, where you're headed next, where you're going to begin your professional baseball career?
I'm going to be headed straight to Johnson City, Tennessee on Sunday. The Johnson City Cardinals, looking forward to that experience. So I'll do my physical evaluation, everything Monday, and our first game is the 22nd. There's talks of me being a starter. Because I've thrown 103 innings this year, they said I'll possibly go straight to long relief. I'll find out once I get there. But that's where I'm headed. I'm ready to play ball, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity. Everyone in their organization has been so supportive so far. Met some really great people already, had some great conversations. They're taking care of their end, and they're excited for me to come out there as well, as I'm excited to be there.
All right, Jake, well, thank you very much for your time, and good luck on your next step.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.